This is a shrimp you just can't buy anywhere. It's a Bloody Mary, really. A line I've been working on myself for the last 3 or 4 years, trying to lock in this perfect, deep red with a clear, sometimes even blue middle. And that really pattern, the clean break in color, is a trait that's a real challenge to get stable in a line. And today, to push this whole thing forward, I have to tear their entire world apart. We're going to sort through hundreds of them to find just a handful of perfect shrimp that get to continue this crazy project. So, let me tell you how this all got started. What you're looking at here is the result of years of patience and a whole lot of trial and error. It all began as a total accident. I had a big colony of high-grade Bloody Mary shrimp that I still have to this day. They were breeding true with that awesome, consistent red that makes the line so special. Then one day, while doing some calling, I saw it. 2 really shrimp in my Bloody Mary colony. What the heck? A perfect one with crystal clear band around its middle and one that had a blue body. Both were really patterns, something that really shouldn't have been there. Just a random genetic throwback. Now, with Neocaridina shrimp genetics, things can get weird fast. Genes from generations ago can pop up when you least expect them. A lot of breeders would have just called it to keep the line pure. But I saw something else, so when I called it, I put it in a separate tank. What if I isolate that trait? What if I could create a stable line of Bloody Marys that reliably had this beautiful, rare, really pattern? So that's what I set out to do. So I separated that first couple, and then another 3 that showed up a few generations later. It's been a really long haul. We've had shrimp that were mostly clear, shrimp that went back to being solid red, and some generations that were just a mess. But slowly, with a ton of careful, selective breeding, we started to see real progress. The line began to get more consistent. Which brings us to today. This tank is packed with loads of my Bloody Mary really shrimp, but it's a mixed bag. We've got some absolutely incredible ones, but we also have some that just don't make the cut. To get to that next level of color and pattern, to really make this a stable, high-grade line as the ultimate eventual goal, I have to do a hard reset. I need to pick out the absolute best of the best and move the rest out. It's the only way to improve the color and pattern. It's all about pushing the genetics in one direction, where only the shrimp with the most desirable traits get to pass them on. That's what selective breeding is all about. All right, let's get our hands dirty. The first step in this huge job is to tear down their whole setup. This tank is full of pylon moss. It's an amazing home for the shrimp. It gives them tons of space for biofilm to grow and makes them feel safe enough to breed like freaking crazy. But it also makes it impossible to see every single shrimp. And for this project, I need to see every single one. First up is the biggest job. These massive clumps of moss. This is where most of the colony is hiding out. As I lift this first chunk, you can see them. Just a cloud of red and clear bodies swirling everywhere. It's pretty amazing to see, and it really drives home just how big this population has gotten. I'm moving all the plants and rocks into a temporary bucket. The idea is to get a bare bottom tank, just for a bit. So the shrimp have nowhere to hide. I can get a good, honest look at every shrimp in there. The water is just a chaotic soup of shrimp right now, and detritus, debris, everything from stirring up a tank. This is definitely the most stressful part for them, so I try to be as quick and gentle as I possibly can. With the tank pretty much empty, it's time to hunt. I'm using a fine mesh net and starting to catch them. It really takes a delicate touch. You can't move too fast or you'll stress them out, but you have to be methodical. I'm moving them in small groups into a specimen cup. You can immediately see all the variations I was talking about. Some are almost perfect, some are close, and some are obvious calls. This is where the real work begins, the slow process of grading each one individually. Okay, hours of sorting later, here we are. Only the shrimp that we are not keeping are left in the tank. These shrimp aren't being thrown away. They're perfectly healthy. They just don't fit the super specific criteria for this particular project. Some have red that isn't deep enough, some have messier spotty patterns instead of a clean really break, and some are almost totally clear. They're all going into my Skittles tank. which is a big community tank where they'll live out the rest of their lives just fine. It's a responsible way to handle the ones that don't make the cut for this specific breeding project. But these in the specimen container are the chosen few. These are my all-stars. Out of the hundreds of shrimp in that tank, I've picked only about 20 or so to carry the torch for the next generation. Let's get a closer look at what makes them so special. Check out this female right here. This pretty much is the poster child for what I'm trying to do. The red on her head and tail is that deep, rich, blood red color. It's totally opaque with no patchiness. Remember when I said that one of the ones we started with had a blue body? Well, at this point in time, I am just selecting for the good, deep, rich Bloody Mary red and the cleanliness of the really pattern. In the future, I may start a new project with them that goes just for the blue. But for now, we want the deep, dark red and the cleanest really markings we can find. Now, let's find a male. Males are usually smaller and not as colorful as females, which makes picking them a little tricky. You have to look for potential. This little guy here, while not as intensely red as the female, still has that deep red color in his flesh. His pattern is crisp, and that's what matters most. I'm picking males that have the best possible pattern because they're just as important for passing on those genes. Trying to perfect both color and pattern at the same time is what makes this project so challenging. But the payoff is totally going to be worth it. Every single one of these shrimp was picked for a reason. I'm looking for that perfect mix. The deep flesh color of Bloody Mary and the clean, sharp pattern of a high-grade Rilly. These 20 or so shrimp are the best genetic combo this project has made so far. They are the foundation for whatever comes next. We've torn down their old world, and now it's time to give these all-star shrimp a brand new one. I've completely cleaned the tank and reset everything. I'm putting some of the moss back in a much cleaner way that will let me keep a close eye on things. The stage is set. It's always a great feeling releasing the chosen breeders into their new home. It's awesome watching them go, exploring their fresh, clean space. In this less crowded tank with no competition from lower grade shrimp, the breeding conditions are perfect. They have everything they need: stable water, good food, and the best looking partners in the tank. In a few months, these females should be buried, which means they'll be carrying eggs. A Neocaridina female carries her eggs for about 30 days, fanning them with her little swimmerettes to keep them clean. Then we'll have a whole new batch of tiny shrimplets. Each one is like a little lottery ticket, holding the potential to be even better than its parents. That's the dream anyway. This is my favorite part of the whole process. The hard work of the reset is done, and now we just get to sit, wait, and watch. The future of this entire line is swimming around in this tank. If you want to see what this next generation looks like and find out if we can push the color and pattern even further, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because this project is really just getting started. So, that was a huge and super important day for my homemade Bloody Mary Rilly line. We tore it all down, sorted through a sea of shrimp, and picked out the absolute best to keep things moving forward. Selective breeding is definitely a long game. It's all about having a clear goal, making some tough calls, and enjoying the little wins along the way. Seeing these all-stars in their new home makes me feel really good about the future of this project. The goal now is simple, but it's definitely not easy. Keep refining the line until it breeds true, with almost all the babies showing these top-tier traits. Will the reds get even deeper? Will the Rilly patterns get even cleaner? Only time is going to tell. I'm excited to see what the future holds for these crazy rare shrimp. Thanks for hanging out with the Big Reset, and I'll catch you on the next update. Bye.